Happy Hump Day, everybody. We finally made it to the middle of the week. Man, the Terps are rolling strong, man. You got guys that's winning awards. You got guys that's breaking records. You got guys that's doing everything they want to do. Maryland finally got their 7th win of the season, man. They well beyond bowl eligible. I'm excited to see where Maryland lands in postseason. Talib Tagovailoa had a great year all year. This guy has been lighting up the charts, man. He's the Big Ten all-time passing leader. That's a huge honor for that guy, man. He came in from Alabama and came in rolling from the beginning to the end. Today's episode, we have a few guests. Usually I have one, but now we have two. JTTheChosen one, man. He's a streamer on Kick. He's a highly, streamer, man, that's well known around the area, man. From DC, man. A guy love ball, love Madden. I beat him a lot in Madden. But he loves video games and he loves to talk sports, man. And I can't wait to get him on the show today in a few minutes so you guys can check him out. And also have my blood brother, George Middleton, join to talk about some Terp ball today, man. So y'all stick around right after this intro.
It was great, got better, and basically being faster, stronger, powerful, and being more explosive. And now I'm out here competing and having fun.
Running behind that fine offensive line, Derwin Graves did a great job tonight.
With all the guys I played with, that was a fun experience being a part of, so I had fun with it. It's definitely been fun, man, so I appreciate all the coaching staff and what they've done for me. Maryland's been a great school for me.
What's up, guys? Welcome to the show.
What's good? What's good?
Oh, man, I'm excited, man, to talk about some Maryland ball today, man. But first of all, man, let's get into a little bit about you guys, man. JT, I start with you, man. JT, man, you got the pretty setup on over there, man. The nice mic. That mic is a little expensive. A lot of guys, I ain't even got that mic. Shout out to this guy. That's why he's a streamer and I'm not. But, man, let's talk a little bit about, man, your setup, man. Like, what's all that going on over there?
It's just a lot of it's just presentation. Some of it's just to control the sound. Nothing too crazy, but yeah.
Okay. Hey, I got my guy in the middle, man. My brother, George Middleton, man. My guy, man's a huge Vikings fan. The guy been loving the Vikings, man. Let's talk a little bit about that big performance, man. What did you think about the Joshua Dobbs and those guys Monday night? Tough one, huh?
Oh, yeah, it definitely wasn't a big performance.
It was okay. It was okay. I wouldn't say a big performance.
It was a down performance. Josh Dobbs, a little lackluster performance, but it was good. He played all right, but it's all good.
Yeah, for sure, man. You know, when I think about Maryland, man, I think about some of the greats, man, that came through Minnesota. Madu Williams. We talk about E.J. Henderson, Aaron Henderson. Man, it's crazy. Maryland has a knack for going to Minnesota. Diggs.
Oh, Stephon Diggs.
Diggs. I mean, we talking about all those guys, man, that go through Minnesota. And man, I know this ain't a Viking show, but Maryland has a lot of ties to Minnesota up in Minneapolis. So,
yes, indeed.
But man, once again, man, happy Wednesday to everybody. Once again, I appreciate y'all listening on us, man. It's football junkies, man, and our gamer junkies and all that. We won't get to all the new games. Modern Warfare 3 is out now, man. A lot of guys are playing multiplayer. Madden has already been out. So if you want some work, you can get it by any of us. But today we'll get into some Maryland talk, man. Maryland is 7-5, 4-3 in the Big Ten. It seemed like we was going all year to get that 6th win. Joe, talk about, man, just what you saw from the first 5 weeks from Maryland, man. That's kind of been, I would say, it was just almost like they had their way. Any way they wanted, man, they was getting the win. It was blowing everybody out. Just talk about some of the things from your standpoint that you're saying out of Maryland the first 5 weeks.
Yeah, the first 5 weeks of the season, it seemed like they was on a roll. Like everything was just rolling. The play calling was good. Defense was showing up. The offense was moving well. Was Talia? He was looking like a Heisman quarterback.
You're right about that.
Mike Locksley, he was calling. He always seemed to have the right play call dialed up. Yeah, the defense was playing well. So I mean, the first 5 weeks of the season went well for Maryland. I don't know what happened, the last 6 weeks, but
Before we get to that big loss they finally took against Ohio State, which I would say was a very competitive loss, and that one right there, I'll be happy about that loss. But when we talk about the first 5 weeks, let's first of all let's point out that was history in the making. Well, they made that when they got that fifth win, man. That was the first time they've been 5-0 since 2001. And you know who's on that 2001 team? You had Lights Out and all those type of guys on that type of team, man. You had guys that was really draft picks on that squad. So you know what that means. If they went 5-0 this year, you got a lot of draft picks on this squad too. But I think for Maryland up front, before I get into that point, JT, I'm gonna ask you a good question about winning. When it comes to winning, what are some key factors to winning a football game to you?
I feel like the key factor, the most important, is to limit your turnovers. Also, make sure that your third down as well as your fourth down, if necessary, your conversion rate is high. At least higher than whoever you're going up against.
Yep.
I think those would be the two ones for me.
100%, man. When you talk about taking care of football, that's probably one of the most important things in football is the hitting yardage, which is swinging the field, which is coming from the kicking game, which is punting, kicking, all those type of things is huge when it comes to field position and setting your offense or defense up in a great way to convert to get off the field or continue to move the field. And another thing is fumbles and take care of the ball. That's another thing. And I felt like during the year, Maryland sucked at that. Maryland seemed to always put the ball on the ground at least once a game. And when we talk about winning games like that, early in the year they was doing it, but it was very limited. And it was no, how would say, it's no secret of why they was 5-0. Those guys had everything they wanted. Yes, they started slow every single game for some reason that drove me up a wall to see them be in a dogfight with Charlotte in the very first 2 quarters. It's like, what are we doing? This is Charlotte. No disrespect to Charlotte. This is a good team, but they putting out guys like Alice Smith, Nate Davis. They put out great players, but they don't compare to Maryland. Let's be real. And these guys,
well, they shouldn't compare to Maryland.
Yes, and these guys stuck around, and in second half it's like, oh, okay, cool. All right, let's click it on. Let's go play some ball. And then they go start breaking heads. Like, why take that long? And as you saying, man, that was like almost like as we played against Charlotte, it was kind of scaring me a little bit. And I was like, oh, they go into Big Ten play plan like this. That I don't know how they're gonna do this. Then they go right to Michigan State.
You get Virginia.
That's not Big Ten play. They rolled over them. They rolled over them. They go right to Michigan State. What they do to them? Roll them over. Them over. And then went on the
decisive win.
Yes, and then went on to IU. I mean, come on, like straight truck drive. Knocked around the stadium. I mean, it was no more Hoosier in the building. I mean, it was crazy. And I was like, oh my God, we are up to something. We are 5-0.
Yeah, this might have been the year for Maryland. That's what everybody was thinking.
I mean, it was the most I ever seen any alums come out of the WordWorks. Everybody walking in Maryland hat. I'm like, bro. I mean, I'm not saying that. I mean, I'm a little bandwagon, but I mean, I still got support for my squad. But I mean, sometimes I had to take my hat off over the past years. Like, it's okay. I'm not a Maryland fan today. But this year, I was solely on Maryland every day. I was like, this the team. But they quickly, man, went on to the horseshoe, played against Ohio State, and had a rude awakening. And where things kept crashing down, and I feel like that was Maryland's Super Bowl. That
they were hanging in there. It's just like by the latter of second quarter, it's just it kind of got away.
Yeah, you know. And I wouldn't even say second. I would say second half it got away because the simple fact that it looked like Maryland was fatigued. It looked like Maryland gave it all they had. They threw everything at them, and it seemed like they couldn't find a way to get out the slump. And it seemed like Ohio State getting powerful and getting more powerful and getting more powerful. And it almost felt like, damn, I remember those years playing back at Maryland and saying like it took one bad play for us, and then the whole game was over. It was over for us. And it seemed like that's what happened with them. One bad play, Talia take a long sack on 3rd and long, can't convert, get off the field, punt, and it just continue to roll. 3 and out. Touchdown by them. And it just seemed like, whoa, what did the game just happen? You know what I mean? I'm a quick momentum shift.
Yeah.
George, when you watch football, man, when we watch Maryland this year, man, what are some of the things that stuck out to you that you seem like offensively was just like, they got to get better here?
Well, you could say the turnovers and sometimes the offensive line. Well, most part of the offensive line.
Well, do you think it's offensive line? Or do you think sometimes Talia back there holds the ball way too long?
It could be both. I feel like if he had a better pocket sometimes, and then if he get rid of the ball a little bit faster, but sometimes the separation from the receiver is not helping him. So you have to hold the ball, or he's going to take the sack.
Who's your favorite receiver for Maryland right now?
What is it? I forgot his name.
What number you wear?
I think he wear. I think it's Taj. His name, you got a Taj something.
Is it Tate Felton?
Tate Felton.
Felton. Yeah. Ooh, we talking about Tate Felton. That's a big receiver.
I think
he just went
last
off.
week he just made a great catch, one-handed catch or something.
Recently. Yeah. I think my favorite receiver for Maryland, man, has got to be my boy number 1, Prather, man. Caden Prather, man. He's been on fire, man. He's been on fire. Josh, man,
kind of quiet the last game, but yeah,
it's kind of quiet. Well, it was definitely kind of quiet. Felton took over the charge right there. Hey, Josh, what is something, man, when it comes to play calling? Are you a big run the ball on third down type of guy? Third and medium?
Situational. So if it's like third and medium, yeah.
Third and medium. Third and medium is between like 5 and 7. Between 4 to 7, it's like third and medium.
Yeah, I would definitely run the ball in that situation, if depending on the situation. But yeah, I don't see nothing wrong with that at all.
Because I know Mike Locksley has got a lot of backlash this year about running the ball on 3rd and 7 opposed to throwing the ball where it should have been throwing down. And I've talked to many people that came on the show, man. I had Dante Trader come on. I've had Antoine Littleton come on. And all these guys I was talked about, how do you feel about, especially Littleton, how do you feel about running the ball opposed to throwing the ball on 3rd down? And Trader gave me something that a lot of people don't understand. As fans, like he said, as fans, they don't understand what our play calls are. They don't understand what we see out there. They don't understand why we make the calls we make. And I said, I like that you say that, because a lot of people that have watched this game of football, they watch for just excitement. Oh, where's the big play at? And it's like, oh, this just threw the ball and got the first. That would have been a big play. But sometimes the big play is the run. And sometimes they don't understand running the ball is about angles. And clearly, I guess I forgot who they played against. I think it was Illinois when they ran the ball on 3rd and medium when they should have thrown it. The fans say, and they like, well, why wouldn't we? Why didn't I throw the ball? Well, when we seen this look previously all through the game, it was open, and this time we ran the ball, it was still open, but it comes down to what? Poor execution, not blocking.
Yep. Every man doing their job.
A guy running the wrong route. A guy that's not running his man off the ball so he can chase and think it's a pass when it's a run. All that. So all that comes into the IQ of a play. You know what I mean? And I think fans lack that. But man, overall, man, I think the first 5 weeks of the season, man, Maryland has showed things that they have never shown in a long time, man. Since 2001, man, it was a incredible performance, man. And losing at home against Illinois was something we was all disappointed in. I think that was a win that should have been easily on the chart as a dub. It should be 8-5 right now, but we're sitting at 7-5 because of that loss. But overall, man, it seemed that Maryland struggled, man. They struggled to find that 6th win, man. It was going on and on and on, and just kept taking losses and losses. And then James Franklin came and put a real big one on them. I think Penn State put a big one on them, and I know that's a statement game for Franklin always. Penn State and Maryland never liked each other. Josh, I'm going to ask you, by the way, JT, real name is Josh. Josh, I'm going to ask you this question here. Why do you think teams, when they lose, seem to continue to lose and not figure out how to get back to what helped them win in the first place?
I think one of the things could be maybe whatever the scheme was when they started the game or when they started the season. They may feel that it's broken, so then they kind of deviate away from everything that they probably had prepared for during the spring. And so in the middle of a course of a season, now you're dealing with a transition, which also has to do with switching up personnel to better fit your play calling to execute those plays. So.
Right. Yeah. And what you think there, George?
Also, I think it's a lot more film that other teams have to watch. So they pick up on the little stuff that you've been practicing and the stuff that you've been running repetitively, but just flipping it up a little bit. So I feel like the more film on the team that they have is putting them in a better position to defend it.
Okay. I agree with that. I feel like. Do you feel like Maryland's been really, George? I'm asking this. Do you feel like Maryland has been really repetitive this whole year, like far as they play call?
I think it's been simple. I think
it's simple.
Yeah.
I think it's
I
simple, but I
definitely
think
say
it's
simple. Yeah.
I would say simple. I don't think they had a tendency of running the same thing over and over. I think they was running X and O's, the basic plays, and they was just converting and being really well, it was really good at doing the simple things.
Yeah.
And we know in football, people that do the small things over and over and over really get good at the small things, and those become big things. And I feel like that's what Maryland got great at in the first 5 weeks, at doing the simple things, running the ball, blocking, pitching and catching, man, routes on air, basically having an open catch, man, catching those and bringing those balls in, ironing all the way through, tucking it away, clawing it all the way to the top and all the way to the ground, making sure no one could punch it out. All those small things, and they slowly ran away from that towards when they started going their little losing cycle.
Or
I
they
think
were
that
forced away from it.
or they was forced away from it. But once again, I can say that's forced away from it, but are they? Because let's think about the Philadelphia Eagles here. That tush push thing on 4th and 1.
You know
Everybody and mama in the stadium know that play is coming on 4th and 1.
And it still works.
And still work. So I don't believe the thing of being forced out of it. You just got to make it work. And it's up to you to make that work.
Every man doing their job up front.
And so we can blame the play call all we want, but the play have worked before, it can work again. And my thing is you got to make sure that you have the wheel inside to make that play. But
but the tush push, that's a 1 yard game. So it's like it's not really a flashy, explosive play. It's just to get a dirty 1 yard game.
Yeah.
That dirty gritty stuff.
So Maryland went on, man, and they got their 6th win, man. Got bowl eligible against Nebraska, man, on the road, man, against a team that played really hard, man. I mean, they shuffled quarterbacks back and forth, man, that game, and found a way, man, to play. I mean, play a great game. We played against a guy that transferred from Georgia Tech, that come from a triple option offense, a guy that's known for running and using his legs. And they had a starting quarterback that went out that was more of a pocket passer. So I was actually scared about that guy that came in, man. I forgot his name, that came from Georgia Tech. He was a scrambler, man. I'm talking about Maryland don't do well with guys that can stay in place, the guys that can move around the pocket, because it just seems like the whole coverage just breaks down, everybody open. And it blows my mind. So when he came in the game, I was like, oh my gosh, like, not this guy. I mean, coming from the offense he came from, he's going to run. We're going to start trying to chase everybody against him, and everybody going to be wide open. But Maryland played really good, man. It was able to get a dub and get that 6th win, man. It was unbelievable because it's finally they got that 6th win. I say, we there. We're going to go bowling. Now, we're going to get to the big game. This past Saturday, man, they went on the road up to Piscataway to take on New Jersey Rutgers Knights. Actually, that's crazy. I was close to going to that school out of recruiting, too. I mean, I got to give it to Shiano. That was one of my favorite schools, man, between Auburn and Auburn, Ohio. That was Auburn, Florida, and Rutgers. It was my top 3. And Rutgers, man, I think
you get to visit and everything.
Yep. If Maryland wasn't it, I was definitely going to Rutgers, man. I loved it. But Shiano, man, he was a guy, man. He was a fucking guy. But shout out to Shiano, man. But let's protect the show today. But Maryland, man, went up to Rutgers, man, and took on Greg Schiano's Knights, man, and came away with a huge win. Man, when you look at that score sheet, man, you look at that 42, I think it was 42-24 victory over Rutgers, man. What do you think about that, Josh? When you look at a big differential in score like that, like what is something to come to your mind, man, after you're looking at some of the statistics?
The first thing that come to mind, just by glancing, not really going in detail, but glancing at the stats, Maryland had to have dominated at something, whether it was running the ball, whether it was passing. I feel like even if no one watched the game, you're gonna know they won this game because they just dominated doing something, and it turns out it was the passing. So,
Yep. And you hit it right on the nose, man. Talir took control of this game, and Talir knew, as after talking to a lot of his teteammates, everyone talk about how Talir is almost like a Russell Wilson in the building. He's like really, really just so locked in, man, to the point that he loves everybody. He's friendly, but he's about his work. And that dude coming in every day ready to work, man. He's no one in the building is more hard on himself than himself. You know what I mean? And that's why he's continuing to get better and better. And there's things that irks me about him, but he seems to always find a guy that's open. We look at some of the key things to you, George, that sticks out to this Maryland versus Rutgers win, man. This Maryland win over Rutgers, I would say.
He spoke about the passing game to Talia. He completed 24-31 passes, which means he took well care of the ball, and he also threw for 361 yards, so that's pretty good. And You can't skip. I mean, you can't miss out on a run game. They rushed for he rushed for 113 yards. So
Yeah,
the offense was clicking.
For sure. And what I liked about Talia this game, man, he was very decisive where we want to put the ball at. He knew where he was going to be open. He went through his pre-snap reads, man. He looked through all the things. He looked safeties off. He was getting guys open by using his eyes and being able to be well prepared to know where he's going soon the ball was snapped by just looking at the defense before he snapped the ball, which is called pre-snap read. And Talia played like a pro today, man. I mean, played like a pro Saturday. And I think, man, that the sky's the limit for this guy.
You can see it in his performance. I mean, like he hadn't passed less than 200 yards since the loss to Ohio State. So definitely moving forward, he had something on his shoulder where, you know, his expectation, he was not accepting anything lower than what he's been able to do for these past the second half of the season. So
when you look, hey Josh, I'm gonna ask this question to you because you really love Brady. You love everything about Brady. You one of those Brady fanatics. It kills me. But when you look at Talia, man, you look at some of his decision making. I'm not comparing him to Brady, but you know Brady's been one of the best. Mm-hmm. What does Talia distribute in his characteristics as far as a quarterback in comparison to a great quarterback on the next level? I wouldn't say Brady, but what does he need?
So what I'll do you one better. I can compare him to Brady when Brady was with Michigan, right?
Okay.
Brady, one thing that I see with the both is the work ethic, right? Yeah. When Brady was with Michigan, what ultimately led to him being 6-7 time champion, whatever MVPs, is the work ethic, right? And so I feel like as long as you know he continues to grind, like you said, he's the one in the building about his business. As long as he keeps that up, you know, it's going to transition to the NFL and it's going to get him far. Now, to say to the levels with Brady, who knows, possibly, but you know, going into the next level where things is going to get faster and more difficult for him, that's a head start that he already has. Like I said, you could just look at his stats for the season and tell that this guy, for this to happen, he's putting work in. Even when we did the tour, we saw him and the other guys, I'm assuming his receivers, you know, no doubt they was putting in work even on the off season, you know, outside of practice. So that's definitely going to be something that he has to do in order to reach heights that Brady has reached and surpassed.
And you couldn't have said it no better, man. And like I said, that game right there was a great way to not only go out as a guy, but to go out in Maryland history like that, man, in a way where you broke a record and you go out with a blowout win, man, where it's the last regular game for Maryland, man. And we're going to talk about postseason a little bit later in the show. But Talia, man, this guy is definitely one of the best quarterbacks to come through Maryland program in a long time, at least from my playing career and probably way before that. I mean, he broke every record in the Big Ten for passing yards, man. I mean, this guy's the best quarterback in the Big Ten history, I guess, right now. And
would you say he's the best quarterback in Maryland history right now?
I would say he's definitely the best quarterback in Maryland history. There's no one ever came close. Actually. I mean, you got Sean Hill. I mean, other than that, I mean, you had CJ Brown, and I love CJ Brown when he was there, and I love Caleb Bro. I love Perry Hills. Those guys were battlers back to back when we played. And those guys were some tough dudes. But when it comes to
gave many headaches.
Yes, when it came to production, there was a lot of inconsistencies there, and that's where Talia picked up that slack at, man. He came in and he was, for the most part, was very consistent with a lot of things he done, and I got to take my hat off to Rutgers, man. They've been a really good team all year. Those guys have been very efficient. I mean, they had one of the running backs that I labeled in, I think, on my running back rankings earlier this year. I ranked Cal Maganagi. I'm sorry if I missed his name wrong. As one of my top 5 running backs in the Big Ten. That guy is a workhorseman, man. That guy gets after the running back. I mean, he got 118 yards on Maryland. I mean, he had a 100-yard game, and he did a great job for him. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough for him. Maryland was just a better team that day, but a way better team that day. I mean, the quarterback sucked that day for Rutgers, man. I mean, it was pressure on his face, man. 13 for 34. It was a bad day for him, man. it just seemed that he couldn't find it. But it was take my head off to Maryland, man. They played a hell of a job on defense, man.
Yeah.
Guys recognize man. Say, my boy Tarheeb Steele, Dante Trader, I mean Hippolyte, I mean Jayshon Barham, I mean all those guys, man, was key pillars to that defense, man, and have a successful day to keeping those guys to 24 points. And Hemby, man, all those carries in the backfield. I still believe Maryland has the best triple threat running back set in the Big Ten. There's no one in the Big Ten that have 3 great running backs. Kobe Bryant. I mean, not Kobe Bryant. What's his name? Kobe McDonald. Okay. Kobe McDonald, Roman Hemby, Antoine Littleton. Littleton, a big bruiser. McDonald is a shifty, fast one. Hemby being a Mr. Do-It-All. He has 2 and 1. I mean, we have the best trio set in the Big Ten. I mean, Illinois have a great set. Penn State House have a great set. But we have 3. I think we had the best back group. And
they got Michigan too. They got a 2-head.
They got a 2-head monster too with those 2 guys. And what's that? Corum and
Mick. Gonna be the best running back in the Big Ten.
It's Corum and what's the other guy named? The guy with the dreads. I think he's pretty good player too. But for the most part, I mean, it's only a few teams in the Big Ten that have a great duo to trio set, and Maryland being one of them. And one thing that sticks out to me, man, as we look at it, is more so the intertwined details of winning and losing this game. I look at Maryland had the ball for 59 times, man, 59 plays, and Rutgers having 79. They had the ball 20 more plays than Maryland, man, and was not able to get points on the board with those extra 20 plays to tie that game up. Yeah. The third down conversion, they actually did really well. It was over 50% at 66% conversion rate on third down, which is really good. I mean, it's really good. So over 50% at third down conversion is really good. That's giving yourself a chance to extend plays, but it just wasn't finishing drives. Yeah. And then one thing that knocked me all year, man, is a turnover from Maryland, man, when it comes to fumbling. They seem to always put the ball on the ground every single game. I asked DJ Glaze last show. I said, DJ, do y'all work enough ball security things in private? He said, well, we always do that, man. We do that all the time, man. The receivers are always working. So why is it always a ball on the ground then? Why is it always a ball on the goddamn ground then? Because every damn game, man, it's always a goddamn ball on the ground. I'm getting sick of it. Because how the hell are we going to win a game in the postseason putting the ball on the ground? Because if you get a team like, I don't know, a good team like Stanford or anybody that doesn't put the ball that plays very fundamentally sound, that's the shit that gets you beat in college football. Those are the small things that get you beat. I didn't want to get hype on my own show. Sorry, guys. If I blew your car speakers out today. But, man, we gotta demand better between us, man, to want to win, man, to not put balls on the ground. They lost 1 fumble. Tulare gave up 1 interception. Rutgers lost no fumbles but threw an interception. They lost the turnover battle with -1, man. There's a -1, man. So Rutgers +1 on them. +1 on the turnover battle, man. They was able to get 1 steal away from those guys by recovering that fumble. And Rutgers not putting the fumble on the ground. So that turnover battle, man, if it came down to that, man, Maryland would have lost the game due to those turnovers right there. Those little small things like that could win or lose a game. Yep. And then you talk about the time possession, man. Rutgers controlled the whole game. Mm-hmm. Controlled the whole game with 34 minutes in the game. Maryland only having 25 minutes. How was this a big blowout like that? Maryland converted every time they got the ball. Maryland made sure they didn't need all those plays to score. They made sure they put the ball in every time they got the ball and made sure they decisive of who they wanted the ball to go to and made sure they made it count. Yep. That's how you go 20 plays less and making sure that you don't have to use 79 plays to try to win a game. Rutgers used 79 plays and still couldn't get 30 points. And that's crazy to me. And as we move on, man, it's the fun time of the year, man. We talking about Big Ten honors, man. You start talking about some of the guys. I mean, made me think about back when I had my little Big Ten honors. I couldn't wait to get that, dog. That was the life. We talk about some of the guys, man, that is well deserving, man. I think they should have been at least 13. Yeah. Bria Braid, man, that guy right there is kind of a safety / linebacker to me, man. He's a hybrid. He's a guy that's coming downhill, man, making plays in the run game, man. He's a very physical safety / linebacker. Easily seeing him like a Cam Chancellor type of guy. Then Jayshon Barham, man, was a guy I really liked this year. He was a big stout linebacker, man. A guy that made a lot of plays great with his eyes, but sometimes made some mistakes, man. Had bad eyes, but for the most part, man, he made a lot of great plays, man. And I think that was huge for him this year, man, making that. And then you have Fuller, man, the D lineman was also as well. And another guy I actually like, man, you might like him too, was Shepard, man, number 3, the cornerback for Maryland. with the dreads.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if you remember watching him play, but man, he was very solid this year, man. He was a guy who was very, very solid, man. He was literally no fly zone, man. There was a lot of plays that been getting caught on him. He's really good. And then you have Wislocky, receiver, man. It was a great threat for them as well. Then you come in with the third team, all Big Ten, man. Ruben Hippolyte, man, was a huge contribution, a leader on defense, a guy that played backer, man. He was huge for them. He was all over the place, man. Him and Barham together, man, was a great duo set. Second team, all pro. Second team, all Big Ten, Tariq Steele. Veteran guy. Love his game, man. Steele was a veteran guy, big body. Him and Trader back there was the bookend safeties, man. And they had that stuff on lock, man. They had it on lock back there. And I gotta take my hat off to those guys. And then of course we talk about the record-breaking season for Talia. Yeah. Talia, man, he broke the passing record this past Saturday. We all know, man, and well deserving. He was a guy that, like you said, once again, like JT said, a guy that has work ethic. Whereas guys who gonna work. He has broke the record, man. He sits right now currently at 11,256 yards. He just passed Curtis Printer, a former Purdue quarterback great, man. I know that former quarterback is patting his back, man, for Talia, man, that he's happy they finally got passed, man. And that's all about, man, football evolving, everybody getting better and better. And right now, man, Maryland's sitting in a great spot, man, being 7-5. They're kind of right in the middle, where a lot of things could be a lot of moving parts. They can kind of be in a warm spot or a cold spot. But right now, a lot of bowl, as we look at bowl mania right now, where it gets kind of get a little frisky right now. Maryland's looking on. Maryland right now, prediction right now at 7-5 is looking to take on either Utah, which is a great ball club, which they are 8-4, or a 7-4, which is Maryland's record, ball club of USC. And both of those guys are great teams, man. Those are two great teams on the Pac-12 side, man, which is a highly passing league side. So, if they take on any of those teams right now, that passing game is definitely going to be something at a premium in that game because Maryland passed the ball and the USC and Utah passed the ball. So, when you think about
USC, though.
Yeah, man. I'm about to say when we talk about these predictions, man, do you feel like Maryland should have won more games this year, man? Before we even talk about this bowl game, you think they should have been at least? What was your prediction right now, based on how they started? What do you think Maryland should be sitting right now as we making these bowl predictions, record wise?
You can go, Josh. Go first.
Honestly, just because I seen how each game kind of played out, I would say they probably should have. I would have assumed they would have had at least eight wins in the win column for the season, as opposed to 7. But I think they're where they're supposed to be. I'm gonna be honest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just looking back at the schedule, I just feel like the games that they won already was good games. They should have won those. And I see that Illinois game and the Northwestern. They should have won those. So that should have been what, 9?
Yeah, man. I think they should have beat Northwestern and Illinois, man. That should have easily been a 9-game season. Yeah, for sure.
They took the Michigan to the brink. So
that was close. That was close, man. That should definitely been a win as well, man. And I wouldn't say it should have been a win. That was one of the ones you could say okay about because Michigan was the number 3 team in the country. I was close to being an upset that day. Harbaugh would have been at home right now, like drowning himself in milk. I heard he loved milk and steak together, so he'd been drowning himself in some milk right now. Calling his brother up in Baltimore. I gotta get away from Michigan, but that's another
probably
point.
Need to get away.
I'm telling you, he's breaking all these rules. But right now, man, they're looking to go participate in the Las Vegas Bowl, man. That'll be something for the guys, man. To better go out to Las Vegas and probably be in a little warmer temperature. What's the temperature out of Vegas? I'm not sure. Do it be warm out there? Is it warm out of Vegas?
It's hot, yeah.
It's
it
hot.
Gets cold
desert,
though.
right?
It gets cold actually.
Don't get cold. So I don't know if it get cold this time of the year around December.
Desert though.
Because it's like this is like a pre-Christmas bowl. So
I think during the day it's warm, but at night it's cold.
Okay, so I'm assuming they're probably gonna play Allegiant Field. Probably gonna play Allegiant Field.
Not cold.
Yeah, cool.
They in the desert, man.
Well, I wish back when we played, we had the Las Vegas Bowl because every time we played and we won only 6 or 7 games, we was going to the Quick Lane Bowl, Detroit or San Francisco, and it was always used to be cold. both of those spots, we had to go visit Alcatraz. I gotta say, both games are pretty fun though, bro. Like you get to get like a little cash. They give you a little games. I always want. I mean, my favorite bowl game. I always want to go to the PlayStation game. Then the PlayStation. What was it called? PlayStation. I forgot who the PlayStation game is sponsored by. Whatever game that was. It was like I think it was like the playoffs. I think it was the playoffs. It was a PlayStation Sugar Bowl. I don't know what it was, but whatever game is sponsored by the PlayStation, which has had to be like the top 4 teams in the country.
Yeah,
you had to play that.
Didn't they give like game consoles to the players?
Yes, bro.
Damn.
Like you get the game consoles. That's just the PlayStation joint. That was, oh my god, bro. We got a fat head, a gift card, and a sweatsuit, and say, "Have a good game, buddy." That was it. I was like, man, this has got to stop, bro. We got to win better games. Then we went on to Detroit. I was like, okay. And we went to San Francisco, bro, playing the Foster Farmer Bowl. I was like, this is about to be dope. They gave us like $250. When they go see Alcatraz, we got to see where all these criminals escaped in the water that was freezing cold. I'm like, wow, that's pretty dope. But yeah, we had to go walk around the jail cells, kind of see like El Chapo where he buried his money and all that.
Alcatraz like on duty?
Yeah,
Alcatraz.
Oh, that's a real place?
The little island?
I don't know about no Alcatraz is in South San Francisco. It's like a jail, so it's a penitentiary. Yeah, it's in the middle of the ocean, like middle of the water.
Yeah, that's so the Call of Duty resurgence map. I mean, I ain't mean to go back there, but yeah, that's the Alcatraz.
Wow.
Oh wow, I didn't know that. Yeah. Oh wow, I didn't know that. Well, yeah, Alcatraz is a real jail. It's a real jail. I don't look like Call of Duty, I guess. But yeah, as we talk about the games, man, Josh, man, as we talk about the games, and I know a lot of guys that's gonna play bowl games, gonna probably get some type of games and video games. You are the professional kicker. You used to be on Twitch. You're formerly known as a Twitch streamer, man. You moved up and beyond, and now not only just affiliate, you're a partner with Kick. Let's talk about that, man.
You know, so verified the partner is what I'm chasing, but
okay.
Yeah, I just made the switch because the platform is just taking off. But yeah, it just seemed like the logical thing to do. And yeah, you guys, you know, y'all be on my streams when we were gaming different games and stuff like that, and I'm just seeing results quicker than I did over on Twitch. So
100%. When you talk about games, man, why do you like gaming so much? Like, what is it about gaming that just draws you to always have the gaming mindset?
So
play this all day.
I'm competitive, right?
100%.
I like winning, and then I like knowing that I beat somebody because I outthought them. I like making I don't want to just beat you. I want to beat you and make you feel stupid. I want to outsmart you. I want to make you not want to play the game no more. I want to make you look out for me. Yeah.
This guy here. Oh my God. If anyone ever hearing this, man, definitely please email me at undertheshellmd@gmail.com if you want any inquiries on playing me, myself, or I. Oh my bad, I meant to say me, George, and JT. Let me know if you want to run those games because, man, this guy's a serious gamer, man.
Call of Duty stats.
Man, kill. So when we talked about, man, you know, Modern Warfare 3 just came out. First of all, what do you think of the game? You think they did a good job on, like...
I think they did a good job modernizing it, bringing... Because everything that's on there is pretty much the same content that was on the OG Modern Warfare 2, but not 3, but 2.
Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah.
It's basically a remaster.
It's basically a remastered version. That's how I look at it. Yeah. But yeah.
Okay, George, man. When you say one of your favorite games, show one of your favorite games to play.
Shit, I grew up playing Madden, so that's got to be one of the best games out. And currently, 2K. 2K's been in my group too. I've been playing a lot too.
Now I'm thinking about how can we run. I gotta run some type of thing when I get all these Maryland fans on this Twitter site, man, to drop their gamer tags. We can have one big tournament. And Madden, or even, or we start some type of
big ass Warzone,
or Warzone, something like that, man. We get guys. I'll make sure I put this out there, man, and get some people like dropping their tags, either PSNs or their Xbox tags to get this running. Josh, man, what's one game this year, man, that you super excited about, man, that came out this year? I think I know the answer.
Man,
yeah,
duh. The Spider-Man game, yeah.
No, I appreciate you guys coming on the show, man. I appreciate you guys. If y'all ever want to run it, man, please drop y'all PSNs or Xbox login tags, whatever you want to call it, to the email or my social medias. Josh social media is at JTTheChosen1. I repeat, Josh is at JTTheChosen1. Please check out his stream at Kick. That will be kick.com/JTTheChosen1. I repeat, that will be kick.com/JT. You know what it is, the chosen one. And we have George in the middle, man. You can always check him out on socials, man, at @Lil__. If I'm not mistaken, is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Hey, Lil __. And you always can catch me, Team Gray, on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. And by the way, check out my new TikToks, man. It's going. Oh yeah, my guy right there. That's what he put it right there. Make sure y'all, right there. Yeah, check that out. But once again, man, fellas, I appreciate y'all coming on to the show, man. The show's been
Thanks for having
amazing,
me, bro.
man. It was fun, man. And anything y'all want to say to leave off the show tonight or today?
Well, thanks for having me. I appreciate it. Hopefully, in the future, I could be back on and go Terps.
For sure.
Same here. Go Terps. Look forward for us to get a I say us because I grew up a Maryland fan. Look forward for us to get a dub in the bowl game that we go to.
Yep. And y'all heard it from him. Appreciate you, fellas. Be safe. Thank y'all for joining in, man. Once again, it's Hump Day, man. We almost there to Friday, man. I got a great show coming at the end of the week. Man, please go like, subscribe, man. Go download these episodes onto Apple Podcasts, man. Make sure I continue to check them out, man. I love doing these shows. I love connecting with you guys, man. Once again, I love hearing your feedback. Please go download these shows. Later this week, I have a great show from a player that's currently playing right now. I think I would love to hear from him. I want to thank JTTheChosen1, man, taking the time out of his busy schedule, man. He loves streaming, man. I had pulled him away from the game console to come talk to you guys about winning, man, what it takes to win a game, things that makes you lose, all that, man. And also having my brother George Middleton coming on, talking about, man, some of the key factors, some of the statistics that goes into winning and losing, things that he saw early this year, man, and things that just didn't line up, things that he saw that gave them obviously a way of, okay, this could be this way and this could be that way. This could how Maryland can really go get a win. And we seen how some things went up and down for Maryland. But once again, man, I'm your host, man, D. Gray. Man, Derwin Gray, whatever y'all want to call me, man. I appreciate y'all rocking with me. And most importantly, man, don't be a stranger. Go over there, man. Send me some emails. Let me know what y'all think, man. Peace.
It was great. Got better and basically being faster, stronger, powerful, and being more explosive. And now I'm out here competing and having fun.
Running behind that fine offensive line, Derwin Gray did a great job tonight.
With all the guys I played with, that was a fun experience being a part of, so I had fun with it. They've definitely been fun, man, so I appreciate all the coach staff and what they've done for me. Maryland's been a great school for me.